Good day, everyone. Human Immunities and Vaccination by Abraham Miller. Introduction. The term immune system describes a group of cells, substances, and mechanisms that work to defend the skin, respiratory tracts, intestinal tracts, and other regions against external pathogens, including virus, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. Innate immunities and adaptive immunities are the two basic lines of defense that the immune system has to defend us against infections beyond the chemicals and structural barrier. Conversely, adaptive immunity has a lengthy period between exposure to the antigens and the peak responses. It is both antigen dependent and antigen specific. First line of defense against pathogens. The body non-specific interior barriers are the initial lines of defense, keeping the virus out of the bodies. Among these obstacles are physical barriers, chemical barriers, and microbiota. Physical barrier: the skin serves as a physical barrier to keep the virus out of the body. Pathogens are trapped and prevented from entering the respiratory, digestive, urinary pathway by the mucous membrane. The chemical barrier: the body contains a variety of substances that have antibacterial qualities. For instance, the enzyme subsins, which breaks down bacterial cell wall, is found in tears. When consumed, many bacteria are killed by stomach acid. Microbiota: the microbiota is a various populations of microorganisms that lives in the bodies. They create antibiotic compounds and compete with pathogens for nutrients. Second line of defense: when infections get beyond the body's initial lines of protections, their non-specific normal defense serve as the second line of defense. Among these defense are inflammations: when tissues is injured or defected, inflammations occur. Imitate the production of chemical signal that widen blood vessels and improve blood flow to the area that is impacted. To eradicate infections, immune system cells like neutrophils and macrophages are brought to the infection site. Phagocytosis: pathogens are engulfed and destroyed by phagocytic cells such as neutrophils and macrophages. Pattern recognition receptors, which identify particular chemicals on the surface of infections. Elevated body temperatures or fever aid in the body defense against illness. Chemicals such as parogens, which immune cells release in the reactions to infections, cause it to happen. Fever reduces the growth of certain infections and increases immune cells activities. The third lines of defense consist of varieties of immune cell types. We have the T cells. Cell-mediated immunity is carried out by T cells. They can aid in the response of the immune cells and directly destroy contaminated cells. The B cells, the humoral immunity, is the functions of these cells. They generate antigens neutralizing antibodies. T and B cells, known as the memory cells, they are able to recall particular antigens and trigger for a more rapid immune response when they are exposed. Helper T cells. These cells aid in the activations of killer T cells and induce B cells to generate antibodies. Killer T cells. These cells are specifically destroying malignant and virally affected cells. Immunoglobulins. Antibodies, sometimes referred to as immunoglobulins, are proteins that B cells makes in reactions to an antigen. They have the ability to neutralize the antigens, bind into it, or to label it for eradication by other immune cells. Immunoglobulins comes in 5 primary varieties: IgG, IgA, IgM, IgDs, and IgE. Every body play a distinct part in the immunoglobulin response. The IgG contribute to the secondary immune response and offer long-term protections. IgA share bodily surface from external foreign contaminants. The IgM early surfaces of immunities. IgD primarily serve as a B cells antigens receptors. Ig is involved in the allergy response and parasite infection defense. And to sum up, the third line of defense is a sophisticated systems. They offer persistence, targeted immunity against infections, numerous immune cells, immunoglobulins are involved, each of which they plays a distinct part in the immunoglobulin response. Two particular immune system disorders, such as rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. To discuss the immune system condition, lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid joints. The main organs affected by the chronic inflammatory diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, they are the joints, especially it causes pains, swellings, and heated joints. After rest, pains and stiffness can get worse. Signs and symptoms: joint pains, rheumatoid arthritis. They often affect the body's joints, especially both sides. The most frequently affected part of the body are the waist, fingers, knees, feet, and ankles. Morning stiffness. One of the most prevalent symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis is morning stiffness, which can continue for hours. Fatigue and fever. These two symptoms are common among rheumatoid arthritis patients. Lupus are the long-term autoimmune diseases. Lupus causes the body's immune system to go into overdrive and target healthy areas and normal tissues. Reason of lupus. Although the precise etiologies of lupus is uncertain, environmental factors and genetics are thought to play a major role. Native Americans, African Americans, and Asians are among the most vulnerable ethnic groups. Signs and symptoms: fever and exhaustions are frequently the initial indications of lupus. Lupus also affect joints, causing pain, stiffness, and swelling in them, just like with rheumatoid arthritis does. Skin lesions. Sun exposure usually causes them to develop and worsen. Breathlessness. Lungs inflammations brought on by lupus can cause diabetes or chest discomfort. Immunities. The immunities are developed over time in our bodies as a result of exposure to different diseases or vaccines, which cause acquired immunities, often referred to as adaptive or specific immunities. There are 4 varieties of it: artificial, passive, active, and neutral. The immunities are developed naturally as a result of going about one's regular life with the first as natural immunities. It is separated further into natural active immunity. These kinds of immunities arises from disease development brought on by exposure to a live pathogens, which then centered by the body's own main immune response. For instance, a person who overcomes a chickenpox naturally gains active immunities. Natural passive immunities. This immunity is temporary and is borrowed from another source. For example, baby innate passive immunity, which offer transit protections against certain diseases is given to it via the mother's breast milk and placenta. Artificial immunity. Artificial immunity is a vaccination causes these kinds of immunity. Vaccine does not actually cause it. It is instead the boost the person's primary immunological response. The measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, for instance, they create features active immunities. Artificial passive immunities. Rather than being produced by the body's own immune systems, this kind of immunity is given by injections. For instance, administered antivenomous following its nearby create a synthetic forms of passive immunities. Types of immunity acquisition process. Long-term natural active exposure to illness, natural passive short-term from mother to child, long-term artificial active vaccinations, artificial passive antibodies injections, short-term. Reaction immunities to vaccinations. Immunological memories. An immune response can be induced in the body through vaccinations. It entails introducing a whole or a fragmented part or forms of protections into the body system to activate the immune system to mount a defense. Immunological memory. An essential component of the adaptive immune systems that enable the body to react to diseases have previously encountered more quickly and efficiently in immunological memories. Primary response. The immune system launches a primary response following the initial administrations of a vaccine or vaccinations. T and B cells become active, and the B cells generate pathogens binding antibodies because it takes time for the immune system to identify the infections and generate the necessary antibody. This reaction is comparatively sluggish. The secondary response. The immune systems they launch a secondary response in the event that the same infections resurface. Activations of memory cells, B and T cells produces during the initial reactions occur. Compared to the first reactions, these cells are able to identify the pathogens and react to it more swiftly and efficiently. Collective immunities. Chains of infections are likely to be broken in the populations where a high proportion of people are immune, which prevents or significantly slow the spread of disease. This likelihood that someone who lacks immunity will continue to touch with infectious species. It decreases with the percentage of immune individuals in the communities. Vaccination campaigns are public health measures intended to boost the population's resistance to a particular illness. These campaigns frequently target illnesses like measles, polio, and influenza that are contagious and can result in significant sickness or even death. There are several approaches to implement vaccination programs, such as mass vaccination campaigns. These are frequently employed in swiftly boost immunities in the populations and reactions to disease outbreak. Regular immunizations as part of the nation's healthcare systems. These entail regularly scheduled vaccines, frequently aimed at infancies and children. Factors that affect vaccination audits. The following are some of the variables that impact vaccination audit. Access to healthcare. Lack of access to healthcare service can keep people from getting vaccinations in many regions of the world. Education and awareness. The decreased uptake of vaccinations may result from the lack of understanding of their importance. Campaigns for education can aid in rising consciousness and comprehensions. Religious and philosophical convictions. Some people or group may reject vaccination because of their religions and philosophical convictions. Safety worries. A decreased uptake of vaccinations may also result from worries about their safety. These worries are frequently the result of misconceptions or inadequate information. Benefit of immunizations. One of the best methods of illness prevention is vaccinations is to eliminate infectious diseases drastically decrease the prevalence of others. The following are some of the main advantages. Disease preventions. Vaccination teaches your immune system to identify and fight infections. They assist in the immune systems in producing the required antibody to expose the body to a safe clearance of diseases. In this manner, the immune systems will be prepared to combat the illness should you become exposed to it in the future. Herd immunity. Community's ability to spread illness is reduced when a sizable percentage of its members are immunized. It is especially crucial for safeguarding those who are immune-weakened, pregnant, and suffer from several allergies and cannot receive vaccinations. He said that disease eradications, a number of fatal diseases has been eradicated as a result of vaccinations. For example, vaccinations have resulted in a total eradication of smallpox, a disease that holistically causes much pain and death. Conclusion. Disease prevention strengthens the immune system's ability to combat infections. The community is protected by herd immunities, even those who cannot receive vaccinations. Disease eradications have resulted in eliminations of illnesses like smallpox. Cost effective. Preventing an illness is less expensive than treating it. Antibiotic-resistant preventions. This aid in delaying the emergencies of antibiotic resistance. Conclusion. To sum up, immunization is essential to preventing public health. In addition to providing individual protections, it also improves the general health of the community. Thank you and God bless. The references.